right. Checking connections. Always seems to be an issue when we do checking connections for some reason. All right. Hello, my friends. How are you? This is the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat. Love doing this coffee chat because it gives you an opportunity. I keep it open forum, but I do have topics that I like to talk about in regards to the audiobook world. My name is Robert A. Lane. I am an audiobook coach and producer. I specialize in helping nonfiction authors, mainly nonfiction authors, narrate your own audiobook as you should. Just checking a couple things here. Welcome Instagram, welcome YouTube, welcome LinkedIn. Thank you. Like streaming live on all those platforms. But again, I focus on helping nonfiction authors narrate and get your book published on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, and any other distribution platform that works for you. That's the key. All right. So our topic today is about setting up your home recording studio and things that you can do, that you should do to set it up properly. All right, we're going to dive into that in just a sec. I do want to remind you about a couple of things. As I mentioned when I do this, Thursdays are kind of like live days where you have an opportunity to participate and comment and ask questions and maybe share what your book's about. I'm happy to hear about that as well. But in the evening hours of every Thursday, actually, I do the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, right? An hour podcast where you can join me again live. All right. This isn't pre-recorded, live. Join me tonight as the topic, as you see on the screen for those of you on LinkedIn and YouTube, is audiobook prep is more than just hit record. So on the coffee chat today, we're going to dive into just some of the practical aspects of setting up your own recording space. But tonight on the podcast, well, we're going to really deep dive, not just only about equipment, but about the practical aspects of what makes a great audiobook narration, mental preparation, physical preparation, all that stuff. So join me tonight. Catch the podcast live on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel. All the links are in the description, by the way. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Join me for that tonight. Would love to have you participate in the show. All right. So just wanted to share that with you. Again, on Instagram, go to my profile page, click on the link on the profile page, and it'll take you to all the links to join the podcast live tonight, to schedule a consultation call to talk about turning your book into an audiobook. I'll tell you more about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program, which I'll get into in a little bit. But right now, let's just dive into setting up your home recording studio, right? Setting up your home recording studio. Basically, a lot of authors are do-it-yourselfers, and that's cool. You know, I'm a big supporter of self-publishing, especially when I published my book, Lights, Action, You. This was a self-published project. But what I did when I published my book, because this was my first book and I wasn't really sure about how to do it properly, I did hire a great book coach. And it was worth every penny. I'm glad I hired them because I was able to publish a book that is just as professional as a self-publisher. You can put my book next to any book published by any traditional publisher, and you can't tell the difference. And that's the goal, right? You want to make sure that as an author, your product is fantastic, right? Your product is a great representation of who you are as an author. That includes your ebook, your paperback, your hardcover, and of course, your audiobook. So just like when you create your book itself in those formats, your audiobook needs to be, of course, on that same quality level. Now, this is why I do what I do as an audiobook coach and producer, helping authors create that great audiobook, because it is a process. Now, I'm a big advocate, as I say, of having all nonfiction authors narrate your own audiobook because it's your experience. No one can tell your story better than you, of course. And there are nuances and subtleties that only you can express. And in my program and what I do, and which is a reason why I'm talking about setting up your own home recording space today, is that you have control over your recording space, not only with where you record, but when you record. And that's a key factor, which is why I have my clients, I send them the equipment that they need to set up their own recording space, and good stuff, not cheapy stuff, good stuff, and show you how to set up your own recording studio because, again, as I mentioned, you don't want to have the pressure of walking into a recording studio, right? You find a studio, you pay them whatever they charge. Some charge, a lot of money. Cheaper studios may be a little bit cheaper in cost, but remember, cheap is the key word. You got to really make sure they know what they're doing. For example, I had an author who recorded his audiobook in a studio, professional studio, supposedly, and he went to get his book published on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, and guess what? It got rejected because it didn't meet the exact specs that it should have. And that studio should have known that. So you don't want that to happen. All right. But setting up your own recording space is great because you're not under the pressure of having to knock out your audiobook in this finite amount of time that you booked at the studio. If you're having issues, if you're maybe not focused the way you should be, if maybe you're just having a bad day, or if your voice isn't sounding good and you're making a lot of mistakes, and then you feel pressured because now you're running out of time, that's a bad situation to put yourself in, because then you're going to rush your narration and it's not going to come out as great as you can potentially do. So you don't want that pressure. So setting up your own home recording studio is great because now you have control. All right. Now on the other side, right, the flip side of this is accountability. When you set up your own recording studio, remember, you have to be accountable to go in and do the work. There's none of this, I've been working on my audiobook for the last 5 years. No. You can get this done in 6 weeks. You really can, when you are focused. So you have to, if you're doing the do-it-yourself route, you got to be focused and making sure that you're holding yourself accountable to do the work and get it done. All right, don't put it off. And treat your audiobook just as I can't even think of the word I want to say, but basically treat your audiobook as a precious item, right? Just like you did with your book when you published your book, because it's that important. And the beauty thing about narrating your own audiobook is that it's in your own voice. You're leaving your legacy in your own voice, right? It's coming from the source. So people, generations from now, can hear you tell your story from the source, not somebody writing about you telling your story. You're telling your story. So when you set up your own recording space, let's dive into this. Obviously, the first thing is make sure you find a nice, comfortable, quiet space. Some people have a home office. Some people do it in their bedrooms. I've had authors who are my clients in the program who set up their recording space in their walk-in closet. Hey, if it works and it's comfortable for you, it's a quiet space, but you know what? You want to be comfortable. You want to feel relaxed and comfortable because you want to have that relaxed and comfortable feeling as you're doing your audiobook recording. And then when it comes down to equipment, oh, by the way, before we dive into equipment, this is Coffee Chat, right? BYOC, bring your own creamer. I wish I could provide that for you. But I do want to toast you for just being awesome authors. You are entrepreneurs. You are professional writers. And I think that's an awesome thing, especially if you self-publish. Oh, this is the, what is this? The 2019 Turkey Trot race in Sedona, Arizona. They had these great cups. So cheers to you. Coffee Chat is my elixir of life, and maybe yours is tea. That's cool. All right, whatever works. All right, now let's talk about equipment. I know there's a lot of choices you have out there for equipment. I'll tell you what I do for my clients. If you sign up in my program, I provide the equipment for you, but we're not talking, your cheap, $150 Yeti mic. All right. You need to have the best equipment that you can possibly have because, again, you're not going to skimp and cut corners on your product. Your product is a representation of who you are as an author. That's why it's just so important for you to have great equipment. So look at things like the mic that I'm using right now. This is a Shure MV7 podcast mic, right? You see this everywhere. I can't even tell you the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of podcasters use this microphone, and for good reason, because it sounds great. It's accurate. It's a cardioid mic, which means that it's not multi-directional, which means when you talk into it, it is picking up your voice and cutting out a lot of the ambient sound. It's a great mic. The other thing is that it's one of the most balanced sounding mics that's out there. It makes your voice sound good, full, not overly treble, not overly bass. You sound great. It's an accurate mic. Yes, it is an expensive mic, but again, don't cut corners. The other thing is when you are recording your audiobook, you want to make sure you have decent headphones. These headphones are ones that I send to my clients. Oh, by the way, when I do send equipment to my clients, it's yours to keep. That's part of the program. When you sign up into the VIP package that I teach, this is part of the program. So you're getting $500 worth of equipment basically for free because it's part of your audiobook coaching program. I like these headphones. These are Sony professional headphones. What I like about them, again, you want headphones that cover the ears so that you can really keep outside noises and sounds from getting in better than earbuds. Covering your ears, closed headphones are really the best, and it helps you focus on your narration. And what's really great about this is not only about them being closed, but accuracy in how it interprets sound. They're not bass heavy, they're not treble heavy, they give you an accurate sound, and that is important. You got to hear what you really sound like. You don't want it colored too much. And the other great thing about these headphones is that they're super light. So if you're recording for a couple of hours, it's not like you're going to get neck strain from a heavy headset, or your head is just feeling like, no, they actually feel really good. So having equipment is great. Being in a space that is comfortable and relaxing and allows you to do your thing is great. All right. When you set up your recording space, here's another thing. Remove all distractions. All right. Take that cell phone, toss it in another room. Take your pets, put them in another room, put them outside, do whatever you need to do. Tell people in your home, if you have a home office, and that you're going to record your audiobook, you're going to spend a couple of hours. Please don't disturb me, all right? Let people know, all right? So when you set up your own recording space, you got your comfortable space, you got your computer, when you are narrating your audiobook, don't do it from your book. Don't do it from your paperback. Don't do it from your hardcover. You want to do it from your ebook, all right? So either you have it on your phone or you have it on your iPad, because when you're changing pages, all you do is do that nice little swipe, which you're not going to hear. That's what you're going to hear when you're using a physical book, and that is not a sound that you want in your audiobook. So make sure you're utilizing the digital version of your book when you're narrating your audiobook. So have your computer set up, your mic set up, and your digital device that you're going to be reading your book from. And then now you're pretty much set up. It's a simple thing, but again, having a comfortable space, making sure your equipment is top-notch, don't cut corners, all right? And then get yourself focused. That's the one thing which I'm really going to dive into in the Your Book, Your Voice podcast tonight, which I hope you join me for. We're really going to dive into the mindset aspect, because you do want to be in the right frame of mind before you hit the record button. Right? You got to be focused and grounded and in the present moment, and you're ready to go. The other thing about setting up your home recording studio, once you have it set up, test it, read it, read a paragraph, check your levels, listen to how it sounds, right? Figure out, oh man, this mic where it's set up, that's my sweet spot. That sounds really great. I'm looking at my levels. Levels are awesome. Lock that in, because you want to be consistent from opening credits to closing credits when you record. All right. So basically, find a good quiet space, and don't go and set up in a bathroom or at a cathedral, because that's just too much echo. You don't want that. You just definitely don't want that. But make sure that your equipment is top notch. Don't settle for cheapy mics. Don't settle for microphones that color the bass spectrum or the treble spectrum. You need something that is accurate. All right. Again, with the microphone, same thing. Got to get a good mic that sounds fantastic. Make the investment, because it's worth it. Again, when you work with me and you sign up for the VIP package, the equipment is yours to keep. I send that to you as part of the program. If you are interested, by the way, a couple of things I will pop on screen here for you on YouTube and LinkedIn. Again, Instagram, go to my profile page, click on the link. Everything is there. But love to speak with you. All you have to do is book a call. Let's have a quick audiobook consultation call. And let's talk about your book. Let's talk about what you want to do with your audiobook. And I'll give you all the details about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program's VIP package. You can also go to my website, of course, at robertlanecoaching.com. Everything is up there. And by the way, if you're part of a speaking group or organization or association, or maybe a speakers conference or authors conference, I'd love to be a guest speaker. Reach out to me, and I'd be happy to talk to you more in detail about what it takes to create a great audiobook narration. Got one of these gigs coming up a little later on this month, so that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, love to hear from you. And finally, one last thing I do want to share with you, and that is I do have an audiobook narration reference guide. You can download that. It's on my website on the top of the homepage. Check it out and download it. It's a free reference guide for you to give you some tools and techniques on how to do a great audiobook narration. All right. All right, my friends, if you have any topics that you'd like me to discuss on this coffee chat, again, I keep it pretty free-flowing and open forum, but I do have topics. So we're, again, just touching on what it takes to set up your own recording space. Pretty simple. But again, don't cheap out on equipment, especially. All right. Your book, your audiobook, every facet of product that you have out there that represents you as an author needs to be 100% top-notch quality. Everything. Don't cut back and don't cut corners and don't cheapen your author brand, especially by cutting corners with your audiobook. You narrate it. You're the expert. You can do it. You have a fantastic voice. You can do it. And I can help you with that. All right. Go to my website, book a call. It's that simple. All right, my friends. Let's see. One more graphic here about the podcast tonight. Audio prep is more than just hit record, because we are going to really dive into that. Not only about setting up your recording space, but the mindset aspect that is so crucial in doing a great audiobook narration. So join me for that tonight on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time tonight. And it is live. All right, so you can join in on the conversation. All right, my friends, one last little assignment before we sign off here, and that is when you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger, say hello to them, give them a compliment, because that small gesture of kindness can make the world of difference in somebody's life. Be a life changer. All right, we need more positivity in this world, don't we? Yeah, we do. So go out there and do that. All right, my friends, it's been a pleasure talking with you. Join me on the next edition of the Your Book, Your Voice Coffee Chat. Remember, the podcast is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel. Have a great, great day. We'll talk to you tonight on the podcast, and we'll see you next week on Coffee Chat. We'll say goodbye to our friends here on YouTube and LinkedIn first.